What is going on, guys? Jack here, and welcome to episode 15 of the Charge to the Top here with Hereford FC. And before we get into today's episode, just to say that if you missed last episode, please go check it out. It's kind of a vital importance that you see it. There was quite a lot of information in there, and of course it leads into today's episode, which, well, assuming you've already watched the episode previously and you've stuck around, you'll know it's the Southern League Cup final today. We're going to be doing both legs against St Neots. We start at home, we're then going to have a tricky tie away from home. There is a game against Basingstoke in between. We're not going to concern ourselves too much with that one. Instead, today's big focus is going to be on these two massive cup games, and as you can see here, the first of which is going to be live here from Edgar Street. So since the last episode, which was the semi-final, of course, in the Southern League Cup, which we won 3-2, just 4 matches that we've played. We drew it against Dunstable 2-2. It was a really interesting game, this one. Loads of action. Unfortunately for us, a late goal conceded kind of meant that we couldn't get the win. Dunstable running out and getting that late goal through Abdelia, answers on a postcard because I'm not going to tell you. It kind of worked, didn't it, as a rhyme? Anyway, the next game against Leamington, we won 5-0. Good performance. Ote with a hat-trick, Dan Townsend with a goal, and actually the Dan Townsend goal worth a watch. Bang, in off the crossbar. Let's get it in 3D. There's another Dan Townsend goal to show as well. 2 in 2 matches for this man. 2 absolute belters. This was the first of them. And yeah, we won here against Leamington 5-0. It was a great performance, but the Dan Townsend free kick was the pick of the bunch when it came to the goals. It really was just a sublime strike here. Edge of the box. Hits it, bang, in off the crossbar. Keeper, absolutely no chance. And yeah, 5-0, a good win. The next game we had against Gloucester, again, another good win. Dan Townsend with the opening goal in this game as well. And guess what? It was another shot from outside the area that went in off the crossbar. A little bit more to the build-up play in this game, but ultimately, with this goal, it just wasn't dealt with by them. And the ball eventually found its way to Townsend after a deflected cross at the second time of asking. And, well, bang. You don't stop them. In off the crossbar, beautiful goal. He did a cartwheel, and well, he deserved to. 3-1 it finished, a great result there. And then in the most recent game that we played against Weymouth, we won 1-0. A Darren Stevenson 92nd minute goal, and the significance of this goal cannot go unnoticed because this is the goal that won us the league. Yes, 5 games remaining. We are 16 points clear of Salisbury. Weymouth in third, of course, losing to us meant that they can no longer catch us. Gloucester, who we also played and won 3-1 against, trailing in fourth. And yeah, with 5 games to spare, we've won the title. 91 points from 41 games. It's a good performance. It's not quite as good as Kettering last year, who got 117 points, which is absolutely mad that they played that well. But yeah, we've done fairly well. 102 goals scored. That is more than what Kettering scored in their season. And 44 goals conceded. The goal difference, sublime. Obviously, 91 points is not a total to be scoffed at. And to wrap up the title with 5 games left is very, very good. So anyway, as I said, today is about the cup final. Speaking of team news going into this game, unfortunately Jay Harris is going to be suspended for the first leg here, out for 1 game due to 15 yellow cards across the season. He's not had the best discipline, has he really, Jay? Unfortunately. We do have a few other players away on international duty. As you can see here, Scully, unfortunately going to miss both legs of this final. Going to be a fairly big miss with us, for us, because with Keenan Bennett also, of course, still out injured, we are lacking a right midfielder, and so we turn to Jayden Hall, the man who saved us last year and performed superbly last year, it has to be said, to come into this side and play and perform. And I'm hoping that he can give a good performance for us here. Anyway, speaking of other issues in the side, you can see here Vatanen also out. He's travelling to join. He's travelling back actually from international duty with Finland's under-19s. Hanbury, unfortunately injured. He's out for 3 to 4 weeks with a damaged shoulder, so he's not going to be available for today's game. And we do also have Magno, who's injured for 3 to 4 weeks. A player with a lot of potential, a bit of a youngster. He's had a few games here and there. He's developed a fair bit, of course, across kind of the course, I guess, of this season. And he is a little bit of a miss for us because he has been a fairly useful player. So anyway, in terms of the actual squad going into today's game, we can finally make some changes. And the one that we can make is that Driscoll is finally back fit and can now play again. Of course, the Australian striker been out with an injury for a little while. He's back now in the side. Looking across the back four, it is our strongest back four, which is good to be able to say. Lewis Blackshaw at left back. We go, with, of course, with Kane Smith, the captain, at right back. In the centre-backs positions, we go with Johnson and Piggott. In the centre of midfield, we go with Duffman alongside Dan Townsend, who, of course, has scored some absolute belters for us. Hull, of course, out on the wide on the right, as I already said. We do have Anthony Wright on the left-hand side. And up top for today's game, we go with Stevenson, who got that crucial goal in the last game to secure us the title. And alongside him, we of course go with Ote. Definitely the player of the season for me. 29 goals in 31 appearances and 10 assists. His contribution really cannot be kind of underestimated in this side. So anyway, speaking of St. Neots, of course, we have played them already this season. You can see we won 3-1 against them in the league. And we are yet to play them, I assume, in our other game, because I can't see them listed, which is usually an indication that you've not played them twice yet. Yeah, you can see here we actually play them next month. So that 3-1 win, the only real gauge we have to go off going into this game. Looking at the stats, it was a fairly convincing result for us, and of course we'll be hoping to replicate that kind of performance here today. So anyway, let's get into the first of the two games coming your way this episode. This is the first leg. I'm not going to live commentate the Basingstoke game kind of in between this, the first leg, and the second leg. Also worth noting perhaps that I will be not doing an end of season live com as a match this season. Because we've already wrapped up the league, what I plan to do is next episode, for episode 16, is to do a little bit of a longer review of the season. You know, look at the squad, look at where we might want to improve, go into a little bit of detail in that regard in the commentary. And yeah, I feel like just commentating a game at the end of the season for the sakes of it probably would be at the detriment of what could be quite an interesting episode, where I go into a little bit of detail about my thought process, how the tactics developed this year, how we've changed the squad, who's been the standout players, all that kind of stuff. So anyway, we'll see how we get on here against St. Neots. It's the first leg. It's a midweek game on a Tuesday, as is the second leg, which will be coming in just a week's time. And, well, we do have a few players missing. You know, the likes of, I guess you could say, Bennett's out wide. Obviously, Jaden Hall coming in for him. We need those players to step up. And what we need to also do is not concede from set pieces. St. Neots, first shot on target for them. They're 1 goal ahead. It's come from a corner. It's been a little bit of an Achilles heel for us this year. And, well, the home fans here did not want to come and see this kind of performance. The ball lashed in by Ward at the back post. Poor marking by us. And we find ourselves a goal down in this cup final, knowing that we are going to have to now fight back from behind. And, well, so far in this game, we've been some way off the pace. Ote's picked up a damaged foot as well. Apparently, he might be able to play through it. It's not great, is it? Of course, the international kind of debacle with Scully being out is a little bit of a shame out wide on the right. Obviously, having players suspended and injured is just part and parcel of football, and we have to deal with it. And with our squad that we have, we should still be beating St. Neots quite comfortably, I feel, over 2 legs. 36 minutes gone here. It remains 1-0, but we do have the ball here. Piggott playing it forward. Stevenson to flick on. No one really there for him, though. Goes to Duffman. Now with Stevenson again. Nice build-up play here. Dan Townsend. Jaden Hall to Ote. He's out wide. He crosses it back post. Stevenson's good in the air. Unfortunately, straight into the hands of Archer in goal for St. Neots. But a sign of intent from us. A sign of life. Something that we haven't really had in the opening half an hour of the game. So that's something. Can we have one last chance before half-time? It's looking increasingly unlikely. And, well, I think at half-time we are going to have to get a little bit shouty at the boys. It's a cup final. We have had a bit of a cup curse while we've been at Hereford, and this competition's kind of been the thing that's broken the curse. But to lose in the final, it would almost feel like the curse still exists. The team look happy with the team talk. That's great. But I need an improved performance. You've got to show all that green on the pitch. You know, all that team talk happiness that I've just given you. Express that on the field of play, please. Let's see how we get on. St. Neots, they've not been particularly great. We've not been superb. In truth, we've got a few bookings as well. Jaden Hall and Duffman there on bookings. I think we might take off Duffman and bring on Jordan Jones, who... Oh, Anthony Wright's now injured. Oh dear, it's all going wrong. Right, Anthony Wright is probably going to have to come off. Coultres is going to be the man who comes on for him. Of course, a player I signed last season. He's been sat in the under-23s for all of the season there or thereabouts. He's only made 5 appearances kind of in reserve friendly matches throughout the season. And he's being thrown in a cup final. Well, Coultres, please work some magic for us, my friend. We brought him in to do a job as a backup kind of wide man last year. He comes into a cup final this year having not played a competitive match. I mean, no pressure, mate, but if you can give a good performance, that would be good out on the left-hand side. Look at the stats. Stevenson's had an absolute nightmare. David Lynch, get on the pitch. It's a return of all our players from last season that's going on right now. 20 minutes left in this game. We're 1-0 down at home, and this is just, it's not good enough, is it? It's not good enough. We do still look like the team in control, and we are on the attack here. Jaden Hall out wide on the right, crosses it in. David Lynch, he's there. He hasn't played much all season, David Lynch. He scored, I think, on the first or second goal of the season. But it's him and Jaden Hall, two men who were massive players for us last season, who link up well. Dan Townsend as well involved in the build-up play, of course, the player played for us last year. The ball over the top. David Lynch is there. It's a tap-in for him. And the sub comes on, makes an impact and grabs us a goal. And, well, bringing him on for Stevenson is looking like an inspired change right now. And, well, with 10 minutes left, momentum definitely shifting in our favour. We do have one sub left, but I don't really have a player who I'd want to bring on. So we're going to stick at it, I think, and try and go on the front foot and get one more goal. Duffman here to Johnson, the centre-back. Back with Duffman. Over the top. Ote's there. Ote scores. We have turned this match around. It's his 36th goal of the season. And in the space of, well, 5 minutes, we have gone from 1 goal down to 2-1 up. Duffman dinks it over the top. Ote's there. Just nods it over the keeper. A delightful header. A delightful finish. And, well, the Bulls, we are charging on. It's 2-1 here. And, well, let's score a few more if we can in the remaining 7 or so minutes. Why not? St. Neots with just the one shot on target. It was the goal that went in for them, of course. So we can't really disregard that one effort. But, well, we look like the team going forward and the team with the momentum. And we have it again here. Coultres whips it in, back post. Lynch is there again. It's 3-1. Coultres and Lynch linking up this time. 2 more players from last season. Well, Lynch was involved in the last one, Jack. But Coultres, he's not played a competitive game of football. He's come on in the final for Anthony Wright, who's injured. And, well, look at this ball. Left peg, whips it in. The defender, terrible touch. David Lynch, well aware of the threat. I mean, Jaden Hall is running off the pitch. That's how excited he is by what he's just seen. We have turned this game on its head in the last 20 minutes. St. Neots have slowed down and we have punished them again and again and again. 3 goals we've scored. They might still have a chance here, though. McFadzine, now with Porritt. McFadzine again. Just guide them away from goal. 3-1 is looking like it might be how it finishes. There might be a late sting in the tail. Johnson, though, deals with it well, the Scotsman. But the ball coming back into the mixer. Piggott this time clears it. Ote, Lynch. There's not time for another, is there? Surely not. Ote, Jaden Hall. Options in the middle, maybe. Crosses it. Lynch is there for the hat-trick. Unfortunately, not going to fall his way. But, well, 3-1 it finishes here at Edgar Street. I am very, very happy about that. That is a superb performance. David Lynch, on off the bench, man of the match. Hasn't played many games for us this season. You can see he's played a few non-competitive games during pre-season and as kind of a reserve player in friendlies. He came on as a sub in the FA Cup. He started 1 FA Trophy game. In his first appearance in the Southern League Cup, he has got us 2 vital goals. And while St. Neots now have a lot to do in the second leg, 3-1 is how it finishes. Delighted about that. Unfortunately, though, injuries. Ote, he's going to be out for 5 to 6 weeks, so that's probably his season over. Ote's out injured for 3 to 5. Why are all these injuries happening now? I said like 2 episodes ago about how we weren't having injuries, and suddenly they've all come at once. The Kane Smith captain praises the team talk. I think it was the team talk that did it. David Lynch, you're going to have a spot in the next game. There's going to be a few people who ask, Jack, where was Anthony Hamilton? Why didn't Anthony play? Or Matty Hamilton? I don't even pay attention to his name. He's gone. I got rid of him. We sold him to FC United. He was a player we talked about last episode as a player who was on £300 a week. Wasn't really playing that great for us or that frequently for us. And in the end, we've spun a little bit of a profit for him. £5,000 raised, and FC United were the team to pay that in the end. So I'm kind of happy to get that money in. In terms of other transfers, we have actually made 1 transfer on the in. That was Oliver Moss. He got flagged up to me as being a potential kind of youngster for the future, of course. Plays for Maidenhead, or did play for Maidenhead, who, of course, we played in the FA Cup. So it's kind of interesting kind of to turn it on them, I guess, and find this guy. But I was just looking through players in our division and the league above us who were kind of exciting young prospects. This guy got flagged up to me. We've picked him up for, well, £1,500, a bit of a bargain, really. Has some problems with his mentals and stuff, but I feel like as a player, he looks fairly good. Good physicals, reasonable mentals for his age. He's only 17. If we can improve his personality, I think he could be a very good player going forward. Anyway, you guys don't really care about the transfers, I imagine. You want to see us get into the next game. We've got the Basingstoke match midweek. We're not going to concern ourselves with that. I'll be back very shortly for that second leg, and hopefully we can win the cup final going into that game, of course, with a 3-1 lead. Okay, guys, so we are back here for the second leg. Obviously, we did just play Basingstoke. You didn't see it. I kind of wish you did. It finished 2-2. We were 2-0 down at half-time. David Lynch with one goal. Jaden Hall with a goal in the 92nd minute to snatch a point. It was quite an epic finale to the game. Obviously, Jaden Hall, a player with limited opportunities this year, but he got a goal to add to his scrapbook. It was a big, important goal for us. And, well, it was a difference maker. And I'm hoping that today against St. Neots, we can kind of replicate that level of commitment until the death. In terms of the team, 5 first-team injuries. Scully's away on international duty. Vitanen is back from international duty, so he can actually put a striker on the bench because that was a concern. Was that with, well, you can see here, Hanbury out injured, Ote out injured, Vitanen was obviously on international duty, that we may not have had a striker for this second leg on the bench. But no, we've come through that. In terms of the team, it's not too drastically different to what it was before, in truth. The big difference being, I guess, the fact that Coultrez starts out on the left-hand side, of course, that being due to the Anthony Wright injury. David Lynch is going to have to start as our advance forward. And, well, elsewhere, I don't think we're too drastically changed, which is kind of okay, I guess. On the bench, we have got a few new options. Danny Smith, an option to make his debut, a player who I probably should be playing a little bit more in the first team, in truth. He's a player who we signed last year from Haverhill. You can see here, obviously, he joined us following Jennings at them. He joined us in the summer. He looks like a very good player. Very good mentals, fairly professional. He's developed a lot this year, and I probably should be playing him a little bit more. He's a consistent performer, can improve a lot, well suited to football in this division. And yeah, just a very good footballer who, I don't know, if he comes on off the bench, I think he could do a fairly decent job for us. So we'll see how he gets on. But yeah, only the 2 changes with Lynch and Coultrez starting today. On the bench for Tannen, Danny Smith, Duffman, Jack Simpson and Charlie Johnson. We've got some options to change it up, of course. 3-1 up after the first leg is great. I do want to quickly check the rules for this final to know if it would go to extra time or away goals or anything. So it will go to extra time if the scores are level, penalty shootout. It's standard. Okay, so there's no away goals to worry about. So we just have to make sure we don't lose by 2 goals or more, I guess. Looking at their team, they're going to play a 4-3-3. We are sticking with the 4-4-2, which has served us so well. It's a tough game, this one. Not going to be easy away from home. But we're in good form. We've been unbeaten in quite a long time. We've done very well in this competition so far. Of course, in that previous match, to fight back like we did from 1 goal down and dominate the game in truth throughout was good. Now we just need to maintain it in this game today. In the match against Basingstoke, I didn't rotate the team too drastically. The player condition in general isn't too bad because I did rest the players, but just something to be aware of. We're on the attack here. Coultrez! I mean, it's David Lynch to Coultrez, and Dwayne has scored his first ever goal for the club. It's his second ever competitive game of the season. And, well, 4 minutes in, we are 4-1 up. A fantastic start. Our first kind of effort of the game. A nice little throw in. David Lynch out wide on that left peg of his. Whips it in. Coultrez back post. Bang. What a header that is. Gets power from absolutely nowhere in that. Flies in across the goal. And, well, the keeper had no chance in truth. And we find ourselves now 1 goal up in this match. And we're on the attack again here. Kane Smith, David Lynch, 1 assist already to his name. You're not going to get it here. Dan Townsend to Blackshaw, the left back. Can he hit it? Coultrez to Lynch now. I mean, we are just probing in the box. David Lynch, can he score? Yes, he can. He gets his 3rd goal in the final. His first in the second leg. And, well, 8 minutes gone. 5-1 up. 2-0 on the night. This is looking suddenly very, very comfortable. David Lynch smashes it in. Keeper with no chance. And, well, St. Neots are going to need the comeback of a lifetime, really, you'd think, to get back into this game. They trail us 5-1. And, well, we have just been explosive in the opening of this game. 2 goals immediately, although they're on the attack here. Cousins bringing it forward. Nice block there. Now can we counter? With David Lynch, options in the middle. He passes it to Stevenson. Lynch, can he score again? He hits the woodwork. And it was almost 3 goals in the opening 9 minutes for us. The woodwork and the goalkeeper teaming up there to prevent the ball going in. But St. Neots, they need to step up to the plate here. They've had barely any of the ball in the opening 15 minutes here. You can see possession 61% in our favour. They're yet to have a shot. They've not done anything so far other than commit fouls. And we're on the attack again here. David Lynch to Smith, the captain. To Dan Townsend. Elsa dispossesses him. They've got a few men on the counter here. Cousins marching through. He's one-on-one with the keeper. Can Driscoll come big? He can't. And, well, if you wanted entertainment in the final, you're going to get it. And it's very much going to be the Hereford FC way in terms of the fact we like to score a lot. We're not particularly great when it comes to defending. But nevertheless, I mean, we are still 5-2 up. I'm still relatively confident. I'm still smiling. But that goal against the run of play on the counter. And, well, it's maybe a slight reality check. I say slight because, well, with 3 goals still the deficit, St. Neots have got to do a lot more than score just that 1 goal if they want to be in this game. And as this game progresses, we are continuing to look like the more dominant side here as Johnson picks up the ball. Lays it out wide to Jaden Hall. He's got space to run into. No one really in support. Can he whip in a ball? He passes it to Dan Townsend, who's cutting inside. Dispossessed, though, now by Elsa and Noel. St. Neots with their 3 strikers in a 4-3-3. You thought they were going to do some damage. That shot was anything but damaging. No power on it whatsoever. Joel Driscoll able just to pick it up. And, well, it was very comfortable in the end, and it had the potential at attack. Although Elsa set piece hits the woodwork. St. Neots, they're not going down without a fight. They are swinging away. And, well, the woodwork comes to our rescue now. Of course, St. Neots saved by the post early on in the 9th minute. We've now had our fair share, I guess, of woodwork saving us. That free kick ricocheting against the crossbar and bouncing clear. Looking at the performances as a whole, defensively, we've not been that great so far in this game. Fortunately for us, Coultrez and David Lynch have been in fine form. And now Kane Smith, the captain, getting a booking. Not really what we want to see before half-time, but I trust him to be a mature head in this kind of game and, well, not get sent off, not lose his cool. Anyway, just want to encourage the players really at 2-1 up in this leg. We are still in a very, very good position just to win this now. I don't need to heap on the pile on the pressure. I don't need to heap on pressure kind of onto the players. I feel like we just need to relax, play our natural game. We are the better team compared to St. Neots. We have made it show on the scoreline. We have made it show across the 1.5 legs so far. And, well, with 45 minutes left in this game, we can relax just a little bit, I feel like. Dan Townsend has not had the greatest of games. I kind of want to bring on Danny Smith, the youngster. I think we're going to do it. A player who I definitely think has a future in this club. A very exciting player, good playmaker as well. You can see here 12 vision, 11 passing, 14 flair. Good leadership, good determination, very good physicals, really. His stamina lets him down a little bit, but he is going to come on for Danny Boy. And, well, it's 2 Haverhill players switching, or former Haverhill players switching in the team. Danny Smith going to come on for us. And, well, hopefully he can work some magic. There's 30 minutes left in this game. He has a chance to maybe make a name for himself, the number 16. And, well, he's in the box here. Jaden Hall whips it in. Danny Smith's there. Unfortunately, he can't find the back of the net. What a fairy tale that could have been for him to come on and score. Unfortunately, a great opportunity is wasted there by the 17-year-old. But it won't be, I'm sure, the only chance he gets during his time here playing for us. And, well, he'll get more chances. But right now, it's Neots on the attack. But we deal with it again. Now we can counter maybe. David Lynch not got the pace to keep up with Atkinson, but applying pressure well. And that high pressure up the pitch is rewarded now as possession is squandered and given to us. Coultrez down this left-hand side. Lays it inside to Danny Smith, who's now tackled by Fawkes. And, well, Dodd's on the attack now. Cousins looking for his second goal of the game. He's through. Can he finish it? He can. 5-3. Am I nervous yet? I don't think I am. I'm going to change our wingers to support. But I'm still not nervous. I still feel like that goal's come against the run of play. St. Neots get it. It's the second goal of the game for Cousins. The second time in a row they've kind of caught us with a big ball over the top. And, well, 20 minutes left. It's 2-2 on the night. It's 5-3 on aggregate. You'd still very much say we are in position to win this game. St. Neots have stepped it up, to be fair, in this second half. They've given us a lot more of a game, really, in this entire second match. Of course, they were winning for a large spell at the first leg too, but the 2 goals that they conceded very early on against us really set the tone for the match, unfortunately for them. And while with time slipping away in the top left, we are going to win our first piece of silverware here at Hereford FC. It's going to be the Southern League Cup. It's coming to our ground. It was a competition that the board wanted us to win last year. They wanted us to win it this year. We have done it this year, and well, it's going to be a trophy which we don't have a chance to retain with our promotion. Of course, we won't be playing in this competition next year, but regardless, the players deserve to savour that success. A fantastic performance. I didn't mention it before, but in the previous leg against St. Neots, we broke the record attendance for Hereford FC as a newly formed club at 4,913 fans, and that was a complete sellout of Edgar Street. In this second leg, 2-2 it finished. Great win. We celebrate a double, of course, winning the Southern Premier League and now the Southern League Cup. And well, Smith made his professional debut in the final. He had a very good game. Didn't really have a lot to do, but he looks like a player for the future, does Danny Smith. Anyway, very, very delighted with how things have gone there. We do receive £1,000 in prize money. We are basically rich. We, of course, continue Hereford FC's tradition of being a very successful team in cup competitions. The expectation was for us to win the competition. We've done that. Jim Harvey, who is a Hereford FC favourite, the manager without a job. Do you want to come and join? He doesn't want to be my assistant or anything, but he's very kind of praising of me, which is nice. Squad payout is £500. Don't spend it all at once, lads. But no, we do win. The best match was 4-3 between Salisbury and, I don't know who the away team is. Answers on a postcard. Mangotsfield United in the league below us. In terms of the biggest overachievers, it was St. Neots who came runners-up. You can see here, of course, we won it. Hereford FC will look back at some great wins along the way, perhaps the most notable being a comfortable 3-0 humbling of Oxford City, a comprehensive 6-2 triumph versus Merthyr, and a 3-1 win against St. Neots, and a 2-0 win versus Hitchin. This does not roll off the tongue. The Bulls beat the likes of Dunstable, Hitchin, Oxford, en route to the final, and were helped along the way by standout performances by OT, who ended up being the tournament top goal scorer. 7 goals for him in 5 games, one of which was on off the bench. A fantastic turnaround for him. And yeah, the Southern League Cup is ours. Anyway, guys, as I said, next episode won't be a live com. We would be doing St. Neots to end the season, but I feel like we've seen enough of us playing them. So next episode, I'm going to do an end-of-season review. We're going to look at the side, look at the future. Don't think it'll be a particularly long video, but I feel like it'll be a nice one to give closure, of course, to this, our second season. Another fine performance by the team. We extend out unbeaten run now, going back quite some way. And yeah, hopefully I'll see you guys for the end of season review. As always, if you have enjoyed today's video, smash the like button. Let me know who your player of the season has been for the season. Is it, I don't know, Ote? Is it, I was about to say, is it Coultres, who came on and obviously scored 1 important goal for us? Let me know down in the comments. I'd love to know who your personal favourite player is who's emerging in this save. But anyway, guys, as I said, that is all from me. If you've enjoyed, leave a like. And other than that, see you next time. End of season review coming your way soon. It is me, Jack, and I'm out. I'll talk to you guys in a bit.